Welcome to Catholic News World.
Welcome to Catholic News World. Please subscribe to our channel. My name is Steph. Here are this week's breaking news headlines.
There was an amazing display of Catholic faith, with 4 million attending Holy Mass at Uganda's Martyrs Shrine in Uganda, Africa. About 4 million people participated on June 3rd at the Uganda Martyrs Catholic Shrine Basilica in Namugongo in the celebrations in memory of the Ugandan martyrs. The shrine is about 20 kilometers from the capital Kampala. This year's celebration marked 60 years since Pope Paul VI canonized a total of 22 Catholics and 23 Anglicans killed between 1885 and 1887 on the orders of King Wenga II in the then Kingdom of Uganda. This is celebrated every June 3rd in memory of the martyrdom of St. Charles Luwanga, one of the 22 Catholics martyred. This year, the Ugandan Diocese of Nebbi was in charge of the celebrations. On May 15th, a delegation of about 700 pilgrims from Nebbi set out on foot, in the rain, to reach Namugongo. They covered almost 500 kilometers in 2 weeks, crossing 2 subregions, Bunyoro and West Nile, and 5 counties, before reaching the Catholic pilgrimage site. They were accompanied by Monsignor Raphael Wokarak, the outgoing Bishop of Nebbi and Metropolitan Archbishop-elect of Gulu. Bishop Wokarak also celebrated the Mass with 20 other concelebrating bishops in a pavilion in the middle of an artificial lake, just a few hundred meters from the basilica built on the spot where St. Charles Luwanga was martyred. In his homily, the Archbishop-elect warned the faithful not to allow themselves to be seduced by all forms of idolatry and practices that are not in keeping with the Christian faith, such as polygamy, witchcraft, and mutilation, recalling that Ugandan martyrs preferred to die, so as not to renounce their faith. The celebration was attended by faithful from several other African countries including South Sudan, Kenya, Rwanda, Tanzania, Democratic Republic of Congo, Cameroon, Botswana, South Africa, and countries of other continents Argentina, Colombia, Australia, and Denmark. The Mass was also attended by important state representatives, including Uganda's President, Yoweri Museveni. The president wrote, "The martyrs have been celebrated for the past 60 years for their display of courage. Despite being new converts, they remained resolute and protected the seed of Christianity that had been sowed in them. I implore you all to be inspired by this courage and sacrifice, but not to limit it to only faith and religion but other aspects of life, specifically wealth creation through profitable enterprises like commercial agriculture, ICT, services, and industry." Father Ramon Arturo Montejo Pinado, parish priest of San Jose, in Buena Vista, Colombia, lost his life in a robbery on June 4th. Hundreds of priests and numerous faithful attended the funeral, held on June 6th, in his hometown of Tiarama. The attack on Father Montejo took place in a parking lot in Ocana, Norte de Santander, where the priest had left his vehicle. According to witnesses and security camera footage, the 45-year-old priest was approached by 2 people who ordered him to get out of the vehicle. When Father Montejo tried to resist, the perpetrators stabbed him twice, in the back, then threw him out of the vehicle and ran over him with the same vehicle. The Colombian police say they have arrested the men believed to be responsible for the priest's murder. They are 2 people of Venezuelan nationality. "We deeply condemn that irrational violence caused the death of a priest who dedicated his life to spreading the message of Jesus Christ of peace and love. We categorically reject this act of barbarism that threatens not only the life of a human being, but also the fundamental principles of coexistence and humanity," said the Archbishop of Nueva Pamplona and Apostolic Administrator of the diocese. Jorge Alberto Asa Soto, on behalf of the Colombian bishops, condemned the murder of Father Montejo. Born in the parish of Tiarama, Father Montejo was parish priest in San Jose de Buena Vista and delegate of the Diocesan Commission for Reconciliation and Peace. The Catholic priest was known in the Catatumbo region for participating in humanitarian missions that led to the release of several kidnapped people. For this reason, Monsignor Soto asked the authorities to fully clarify the circumstances of his murder. Colonel Nestor Arevalo, commander of the Norte de Santander Police Directorate, assured that the investigation is continuing, since one of the people arrested was apparently an acquaintance of the priest who had been invited to a meeting at the place where he was killed. The Catholic nun, named Sister Nabila Sala, of the Rosary Sisters, has returned from Gaza to Italy. She gave a talk in Milan and spoke about the 6 months of brutality she experienced in Gaza. The war came on suddenly, with violence greater than in the past, which removed the veil of human rights. She explained that Christians too are among the victims. The Rosary Sisters School was also destroyed. Reaching out to children who have only experienced war is a challenge, especially since many have developed emotional issues. Faith and hope have never failed us, even in the terrible days when the Israeli army was bombing near us, near the Holy Family Parish, with people from the community wounded by shrapnel who could not be treated because of a lack of hospitals and medicines, said Sister Nabila, speaking to Asian News. The Egyptian-born religious experienced firsthand the conflict. She escaped from the territory with a group of parishioners only in early April after experiencing terrible moments, like the attack on St. Porphyry Greek Orthodox Church. We immediately ran to see how they were doing, she said, because, as Christians, we all know each other. And again, when Israeli snipers killed 2 women in front of our eyes. Unlike other wars in Gaza, which took place over a shorter period, and with less intensity, this time it came suddenly, with no forewarning, and no place that could be considered safe. This time, the nun explained, they hit everywhere. Israeli leaders knew that we Christians had found shelter inside the churches. It was a shock to realize that we were not immune to the attacks, to the bombs. We didn't think it would happen, like when they entered Zaytown, the neighborhood where the Latin parish church is located, with tanks and, behind them, snipers deliberately shooting. Sister Nabila Sala lived in Gaza for 13 years and experienced firsthand the violence of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, although the intensity of the war triggered by the October 7th is unparalleled. She spent more than 6 months as a refugee in the Catholic Church of the Holy Family together with more than 650 displaced Christians, under bombs, in desperate humanitarian conditions, taking care of the most vulnerable. Yesterday evening she recounted her experience at the Pime Center in Milan, together with other sisters, including Sister Bertia Merge and Sister Martina Bader, from Jordan, who have worked in Gaza for a long period. The faith shown by everybody was the source of our hope. During the bombings we went to church and prayed the rosary, with people shouting, crying, and praying, not knowing if they would survive. For me, those were very hard months, the nun said. But she learned that nothing in the world is worth it, only the Lord. Not riches, things of which nothing remains. I tried to represent the faith that comes from the Lord, to have hope, even if I was afraid and cried. Children are the first to suffer, something Sister Nabila knows too well. Her order established a school in Gaza, appreciated by the whole community. Children have lived through 5 wars in just a few years, bearing the brunt. Just think of a 10-year-old boy who has only known violence. The Rosary Sisters' own school suffered serious bombing damage. At least $3 million will be needed just to fix the walls. 3 teachers and several students are among the 37,000 casualties of the war. At the start, only the King of Jordan sent some aid from the sky and our young people risked their lives to recover it. The visit of Patriarch Pier Battista Pizzaballa and the return of the parish priest Father Gabriel Romanelli in mid-May were among the few moments of joy and consolation. But the deputy parish priest, Father Youssef Assad, did a great job. When asked what the people of Gaza want now, Sister Nabila says immediately, peace. It's very hard to live in war all the time. We miss the voices that really work for peace. Sister Nabila said, Pope Francis always calls for it, but the powerful have done nothing about it. All Gazans say that, with this war, the veil of human rights has fallen. Both peoples have the right to live in peace. Hopefully, this war will close the book on all wars. Gazans today think about how to stay alive tomorrow, how to feed their children.
Watch our programme every Friday at 7:30 p.m. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to Catholic News World channel. God bless.
Please subscribe to Catholic News World's YouTube channel. Thanks and God bless.